States is posting on his personal account memes of him in what I think is a WWE match from years ago with the logo of CNN superimposed over the body of somebody he's beating the crap out of. Personally, I thought the tweet is hilarious. I'm not sure that maybe the president of the United States should be tweeting something like that, but the video actually was hilarious. But don't tell anybody I said that. In 1 week on Twitter, Trump has gone at Morning Joe. He's gone at Mika Brzezinski, calling her low IQ. He attacked her physical appearance, continuing the trend of attacking women's physical appearances. Doesn't matter. And called her dumb as rocks. I mean, this is obviously so grossly beneath the office of the president, but especially to be doing this at a time where her father passed away in the past 2 months. Her mother has had 2 heart attacks since then. Really, she doesn't need this. She even said so herself, that she does not need this right now. He also went at Joe of Morning Joe, calling him psycho, crazy, and this ridiculous threat involving a National Enquirer article, something about Joe wanted it killed, but Trump decided to have it run. Now, I'm not entirely, no, actually, not at all that knowledgeable on the statutes regarding the presidency and regarding the morality of our representatives, but I'm sure kind of blackmail, in a sense, has to violate something. You'd think the president shouldn't be able to get away with that. But Trump has proven to basically be made of Kevlar up to this point. He also continued to target CNN as fake news, like the tweet from this morning. He also lashed out at others that don't cater to him. Noticeably, Fox News somehow, for some reason, I really don't know why, somehow managed to avoid any criticism. But then even some of his staunchest defenders, like Sean Hannity, said that he should probably stop, or he should probably rethink his strategy. Which is basically akin to Sean Hannity being like, all right, you got to shut that shit up. If somebody from Fox News comes out and says to Trump that, maybe you should rethink, that's the equivalent of anybody else telling him that he has to shut the hell up and stop this. He also declared his use of Twitter, which can essentially be boiled down to trolling, as modern-day presidential. Now, I'm not really sure about anybody else, but to me, we had a modern-day president less than a year ago in Barack Obama. I can't remember him trolling opponents daily. Now, I may have just blocked that out as a crazy liberal, but I can't remember that. It really, as president, you're a lightning rod. You have to get used to that. You have to go in to the position of president knowing that at any point in time, at least half of the country is going to be against what you're saying. Then there's this ridiculous idea that because he's attacked on the media, on Twitter, on TV, that he's allowed to lash out. I'm sorry, but no, that's really not how that works. Lashing out the way he does is so far beneath the dignity of the office. Like I said last week, and I'm sure I've said it on multiple episodes, the president should represent the best in us, morally and hopefully policy-wise. AKA not instituting policy just because it'll play to your base. The Paris Accord and the travel ban, just to name 2. At very least, his activity on social media probably forces more people to pay attention. Probably. I mean, I've seen nothing to back this up, but I know that plenty more people are paying attention to what Trump does simply because he's such a damn gamble on social media. But that idea is really just kind of grasping for good straws. Just really trying to look at some positive out of Trump essentially being the world's most powerful Twitter troll. But all in all, I don't know. I like that the president is on Twitter, as long as it's not interfering with his ability to do his day-to-day job, as president of the United States. I don't care that he's on it so much. I would rather he doesn't troll people or news outlets. If he wants to use and really embrace social media, do it. I'm all for that. because social media is so widely used that he's reaching people that, granted, they may be just poking fun at him or going off at him on little Twitter rants or Facebook rants, but more people are seeing what's going on. So that is, though minor, a good part of him being so active on social media. Everything else is pretty bad. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Just bad. Just not good. So that pretty much wraps up the issues I really wanted to talk about in the main part of this episode. I don't think this episode is going to be as long as last week. I didn't have as much to say about healthcare. Healthcare obviously is still really dominating the news, but there's only been so much progress, and I don't want to waste everybody's time by just saying the same thing I said last week. So moving on into my final thoughts. This week, Trump will meet Putin on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Germany. Now, of course, a normal person would be like, oh, this is the perfect time for Trump to really tell Putin to knock it off. Stop meddling. We're coming after you for meddling. And you'd think that'd be a pretty easy thing to convince a social media conscious president of, that the amount of good press he would get from that would be ridiculous. But, of course, the administration was non-committal about Trump pressing Putin on the meddling. So really par for the course. At least they didn't say no, I think, is the best way to look at that. They also didn't say yes to such an easy question. So we'll see what he does. I'm sure memes and Twitter rants will follow, which I'm low-key looking forward to. But at the very, very, very least, at least they're meeting. We'll see what happens with it. I really don't know what to expect. Next, we have the White House asking for the personal and public data of the nation's voters. The White House has set up a commission to dig into what they're calling voter fraud. This commission is looking for information like social security numbers, date of birth, party affiliation, really everything you need to narrow down who you want to vote if you're trying to swing a presidential election, or really Senate, House, state senators, state representatives. Really, if you want to swing any election, this is the information you would need to suppress the vote. So far, 20 states have out and out said that they will or have refused this request. The main reason for this commission being started is Trump's claims of illegal votes being the only reason he didn't win the popular. Since then, that claim has been disproven multiple times by scholars. But as president, he's allowed to create a commission on complete conspiracy. This commission is being chaired by Vice President Mike Pence. But the co-chair, his name is Chris Kobach. Don't know how to say his name, but he is the Kansas Secretary of State. And in that role, he has pushed for large varieties of restrictions on voting and registration. Some have been challenged in court and legally overturned. Federal judges have said that his policies have kept thousands off of voter rolls. This man has single-handedly kept thousands of people from having their voice heard in our democratic process. Thankfully, at least on the left, I don't know of anybody on the right like this. People like Jason Kander. Check him out. He's actually a really good dude. Follow him on Twitter. He's actually entertaining. But this is kind of his pet project. He's running Let America Vote, which is really leading the fight against this Voter Suppression Act and others like it. He's one of those mentioned as the future of our party, along with Kamala Harris, Cory Booker. He deserves a ton of credit for what he's doing, and hopefully Let America Vote can muster the support to go against this commission. Because really this commission isn't about finding people who are illegally voting. Because I say scholars, I don't really know what word, research has indicated that illegal voting is almost non-existent. It's very limited, and most of the time, it's by mistake. It's not with the intent purpose of voting illegally. The commission's all about suppressing the votes they don't want. Kobach, however the hell you say his name, has been doing this for years. Like I said, he's been challenged in court and has lost. Judges have said that he's knocked thousands of people off voting rolls. So, he's a stand-up guy. Good guy. Definitely the guy you want leading a commission for the White House. But we have people like Jason Kander, so we'll see what happens there. Finally, a little bit of local news. Naples, Florida has been named the best beach town to live in. I mean, you could have just asked anybody who lives here. We could have told you the same thing. I mean, I really don't know who would have a chance against us. We have the best beaches. We have Fifth Avenue. I live here. Really, there's no way to beat it. So that really wraps up this episode. Hopefully, I kept everybody engaged and gave you some information that you didn't already know. Please go check out politicallycharged.us. If you're hearing this, that means the website is live. It'll have all the information you need to know. Contact us, how you can get involved in the political process. Contact me or anybody on my team. And you can even see, I think my Twitter account is somewhere in there. But please check it out, politicallycharged.us, politicallycharged.us, politicallycharged.us. And as always, follow me on Twitter, @JackBerlin. Not giving out Snapchat or my number, nothing like that. Do not want you guys that close to me. Go ahead, hit me with a 5-star review. Remember to subscribe. If you have constructive criticism or you just hate me, comment in the iTunes or wherever you're hearing this. But if you're not giving me 5 stars, then don't take the time to review. So with that, this would be the point in the episode where I do a little pause, maybe throw in a little music, and then bring a guest on and have a conversation. If that's something you'd like to hear, let me know at any of the places I just told you. Check out politicallycharged.us. Give me a 5-star review. And with that, I will see you next week.